It's a bunch of bad examples being set by a bunch of emotionally immature people who ain't getting a lot of guidance and who don't even know what they're doing is emotionally immature. They think that they're justified. They think that they're the heroes in the situations that they're in.
Someone fetch me my apron. I feel good. I feel good.
Okay. I could take
I
that.
mean, we kill each other. We kill each other over emotion. I mean, let's look at the culture. Like,
Hey, go ahead.
I'll bump into you and have a problem, and then all of a sudden my emotions are so high. I end your legacy. I take you away from your children. I take you away from your family over bullshit. Let's keep it 100. A lot of our men have testosterone and masculinity, but they have feminine mentality where they get offended. Women get angry, and I remember how women used to get angry in the 90s, and it was bicker, bicker, bicker. And then I started to see that men were starting to do the exact same things, but those bicker, bicker, bicker was leading to death. Me and Chef, we could have a fight, and after about, not a fight, but an argument, after about 3 back and forth, it's like, yo, you want to throw hands? What's up? And it's not going to lead to death. And that's how we kind of grew up in the 90s. It was like we could throw hands, and we could actually probably end up being cool afterwards. But as time has gone over and over and over again, the emotionalist, like, as soon as there's a problem, it's ready to throw fisticuffs. There's not even a dialogue back and forth. And if I win that fight, then you have to come back because your pride's been hurt and end my life. Or you have to come back and try to get some people and try to jump me. This whole thing is backwards. There's no.
I want to offer a little bit of pushback to you, What the Funk. I don't think that's how you meant it, but I notice we're doing a lot when we're speaking about gender roles and men and women and relationships, and we refer to a lot of things that will be considered negative as feminine. When we refer to a man doing something that would be more expected from a woman, you said that he's attributing a feminine action when in all actuality he's using an immature action. And a woman doing it is also immature, which is why I personally think we have a lack of accountability, because you say, hey, a woman's supposed to do that. A woman's supposed to bicker and back and forth. And I don't think that should be attributed to all women that way. I think we need to isolate that negative action and say that, hey, that is an immature way to socially interact with people, male or female. What do you say about that?
You want me to make sure that I'm placing the correct gender role on an action. Is that correct?
I'm saying that as opposed to saying that that's feminine. That's not feminine. That's immature. So the statement itself is inaccurate because that just assumes that women always act like this, and there's a lot of women who don't act like that.
So,
and I think
so that means
I don't think it was your intention.
Traits for a man.
Say again?
I can't use the term feminine traits for a man because it should be more, I should say, immaturity. Is that what you were saying?
Right, because I don't think that trait in particular is attributed to women as opposed to it's attributed to immature people.
I think generally it is, like being emotional, being overreactive. I think those are generally attached in any conversation on any platform you go to. Those two in particular are generally referred to as feminine things. So for example, when we sit here on these platforms and it's men going back and forth, that's just not man shit. This just isn't man shit. This is just some, you know what I'm saying? Like I think that is commonly referred to as a female trait, because men are supposed to be more
what I'm saying is we've accepted that in conversation, but I don't think it's accurate, and I don't even think we notice we've done it. And because the ladies have been so quiet about it, that we just keep walking over that same spot. And I'm saying, hey, guys, you see that spot? That's all I'm doing is, hey, I'm bringing it to the forefront to be fair, not because I'm some feminist or something. I'm just trying to say that if you said, if the ladies were saying that rage or anger was attributed to men, I'd be like, no.
I mean, but honestly, based on the question, because he said, wouldn't men become more emotional if they were raised by their mothers? So they're picking up traits by the female they were raised by. So in turn, that would sometimes make like he said, a feminine trait. Would that not be this? Would that not do?
I don't want to derail the conversation, but I think y'all felt where I was going with that. Now I wanted to ask Andrea one quick question.
Sure.
You said
wait, you want to drop a dynamite mic or whatever?
no. Hey, look, y'all. I didn't want to like spin it all the way off. I thought y'all be feeling me more than that. We can make a whole nother conversation about that.
Transition after you already started the conversation. So
hey,
let's finish the conversation.
Hang on, Miss Andrea. What you wanted to say about it, Funk? Say what you want to say, Funk.
I'll say what. I've worked in restaurants my entire life, and I've seen men have feminine arguments about absolutely nothing, and they look like little children, girls having, and women like to hold the fact that they are emotional and they're passionate, and men are like to hold on to the fact that they're logical. That is the nature of man and woman. But what has happened in the last 50 years is that a lot of the men now have become super emotional, and those things are leading to our demise. Yes or no?
Men being emotional is leading to our demise.
Yes.
More emotion and less logic.
In some cases, I believe that. In some cases, I believe like if you step on his toe, he gonna have a hissy fit, and that's what a woman does. Step on his shoe in the club, he having a hissy fit. He ready to shoot you. What's wrong with that picture?
He looked at me the wrong way. Why is he looking at me? What you're thinking of is
hyper emotional. You know what I mean? That's someone who's taking any emotion too far, whether it's happiness.
Did he see his mama?
Get what you're saying.
Did he see his mama act like that? I'm just asking the question. Did he see his mama? Did he hear his mama say she was in the club and the woman stepped on her shoe, threw a drink at her? Now she ready to fight too? Come on now. He's got.
No. He could have just as easily seen his older brother and his daddy do the same shit. So it's not.
I understand what he's saying.
It's not specific. We're seeing a whole bunch of bad examples, and I can give a shit who's doing it. It's a bunch of bad examples being set by a bunch of emotionally immature people who ain't getting a lot of guidance and who don't even know what they're doing is emotionally immature. They think that they're justified. They think that they're the heroes in the situations that they're in. Let me shed a little bit of light on the situation, right? Mm-hmm. So when I moved to Atlanta, right, mm-hmm. I was always raised to think about what I did before I did it. Mm-hmm. But in Atlanta, they got a little known rule for people who don't know called swing first. That is the standard. So all of that thinking about what's coming next, that will be the reason why you don't make it home. So people are prone and touted and celebrated for the man who can make a decision for his entire life the quickest.
Okay, but when you say Atlanta says don't swing first, well, what you're saying is if you swing,
swing first. Do swing first.
Yes, swing first. But do you know that person might go home and get a gun and come back and shoot your brains out? I'm just asking the question.
It's not about the results because we're not taking my point I'm making is that we're not taking the time to think about the results, and it's a survival mechanism. You understand what I'm saying? The man who make the best move.
Pointless for where the flow of the conversation was going. I don't understand the point that you felt that you need to make sure that you shed light on. Well, let's not make it a masculine or feminine thing. What was I was showing you that you're trying to accomplish with your.
I'm going to clear it up for you. I'm going to clear it up for you. I'm going to tie it all in. So the reason that I'm bringing that up is because I didn't understand that it was emotionally immature. I thought I was lacking. I thought I was weak for thinking too long. You understand what I'm saying? Well, if you think too long, you're considered weak. You understand what I'm saying? So it's your perception, and that world you're living in creates that perception. So if everybody over here think you weak if you don't gangbang, everybody over here thinking you weak if you falling in love with a girl or you getting all married and lovey-dovey and holding hands, that's lame, that's weak. They're creating that reality for you for all of these things. See what I'm saying? So their perception is not that these things are wrong. You see what I'm saying? So they are emotionally immature because of how that came down, and it wouldn't have mattered where they were getting the inspiration from. male or female.
Someone fetch me my apron. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. Someone